his career. I said Dev's still has something in the tank. I said the best version of Devin shows up. Now Norman's gonna have some big issues,
Yeah.
and it just so happened that it went that way. Funny enough, like I'm on record for saying that Devin didn't want this fight in the first place. I don't think that they did. I'm hearing that it was on record he was on the list. That Brian Norman was on the list. Can't imagine he was number one on the list, but this ended up being a fight. I felt like this was the smoke and the mirrors effect when it was first announced, and we want this who we want. And I think that when it first started to happen, this isn't what they wanted first.
Yeah.
Not to say we don't want this.
Yeah.
This ain't just what we want
First. Yeah.
We eventually want to get there, but we want to hype this thing up. We want to do this. We want to do that.
Right.
And it ended up having to be the first fight for him. It's probably best that they got him now than they got him later.
In the grand scope of things, whether you think he wanted the fight or not, or they had no choice, or they ran into it, the fight got made. But regardless of that, that is completely irrelevant what he's talking about. Show me a place where what he's talking about has a position in the grand scheme of things. Whether you thought he wanted the fight or not is irrelevant due to the fact that the fight is made. Right? And if anything, he just told you a reason why he should give Devin Haney credit. Because he don't think that they wanted that fight. Meaning, he thought Brian Norman Jr. was dangerous. Now, he thought he was dangerous enough to think that he didn't want the fight and that maybe Devin would lose. I don't know what he said. But he thought all that about him. And at the same time, at the end, he says it's good that Devin Haney probably called him early. You can't make it up. He was dangerous enough for you to think that he could clean Devin Haney's clock. But when he beat him, it's probably good that he caught him early. You couldn't tell that, he was a spring chicken before the fight. See, before the fight, he was the killer. And he was the killer to everybody. And that don't take away that he's still one of the top in his division. None of that takes away. But the point is, where the hell was those expertise, when they was making the fight? Why didn't you say, I don't know. If anything, if that's how you felt, you'd be like, I think he's catching him kind of early. Devin Haney might style on him and stuff like that. Whatever and all that. Oh, well, if the best version of Devin Haney shows up, then that's bullshit. Because the best version of Devin Haney at that time wasn't enough. Let me say it again. The best version of Devin Haney at that time wasn't enough. That's why he went and made the adjustments that he did. It's as simple as that. Oh, but I feel, if the best Haney show up, then he's in trouble and stuff like that. This, that, the third. No, that's not what you thought, bro. Be real. Be real. That's not what you thought. I couldn't have predicted that he worked on the things that he worked on. That was a new, improve, upgrade. Once again, y'all can go back. The videos are there. I said in order for Devin Haney to make this fight entertaining, and this is the messed up part. I said in order for Devin Haney to make this fight look entertaining and be dominant, he has to have power and he has to add a wrinkle to his game. What did you see? Power and a wrinkle. All right, power and a wrinkle. Whether he was going to have that or not, who knows? That's why it was such a toss-up. But to say that, if the best version of him, listen, the best version, well, you know what? I'm going to kind of take back what I said earlier, saying at the time, the best of what he wasn't enough. It probably could have been enough. No. As a matter of fact, I take that back again because he wasn't holding the phone. You know what I'm saying? He's holding the phone. So, yeah, I stand by that. At the time, the best that he wasn't enough. So now that I think about it, I do stand by that. Because he held the phone all night. And then He decimated a guy with the same punch that y'all say was his Achilles heel. That's the crazy part on top of that. But if anything, if you thought he was so dangerous, you should have given him props for fighting the dude. But instead of giving him props for fighting the dude, now he caught him too early. At the end of the day, some of these guys are mad that Devin Haney got to a place that they ain't never been. And I don't know whose video it was. They put something on my brain, and now that I thought about it, I was like, it made all the sense. I believe it was Goodfella Boxing. I believe it was him. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I believe so. And he said, Shawn Porter, real problem is, he's mad at Devin Haney and Bill Haney because Devin Haney and Bill Haney is a better father-son duo than they were. I said, you know what? Makes all the sense in the world. People are petty. You know, people are petty, but the point is, he took a fight that y'all didn't think he was going to take, and you didn't want to give him credit for it, so you had to come up with, oh, he was forced into this fight. Okay? He did good in the fight, so you guys tried to find something to nitpick about it and say that it was boring or it was holding and stuff like that. And clearly, if you go watch the fight, you will see Brian Norman was wanting to lock up with Devin Haney more than Devin Haney was wanting to lock up with him. The video's out there. Turkey Al Sheik put it up there for you. Go watch it. You know? So you didn't want to give him credit on that. Then when he beats the guy and you can't deny it, now you want to take away his credit by saying, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? He caught him at the right time. And you know what? Yeah, he did catch him at the right time. I knew that. He did. That's the type of person you want to catch before they gain any more momentum or anything else. This is how I could tell that Canelo wasn't going to fight David Benavidez, because if you was going to fight David Benavidez, you fight his ass early before he get the experience. The more fights that David was getting, I knew Canelo wasn't going to touch him. I said, dude, if you're going to jump on Benavidez, you better jump on him now while you keep getting all this experience and stuff. And after a certain point, I was like, yeah, they not fighting. But nonetheless, that it doesn't even count for anything. And I'm going to tell you why. Because just like the whole world jumped on the Brian Norman train right after that knockout, you know, and they doing good business too. They made sure that they rolled that way. They're like, oh, this is the guy that y'all said, this is the killer. This is the one that all y'all, and all that stuff about. Okay, watch this. Take him out. What Devin hit, what the strategy of doing that is Devin Haney usurps his buzz. Let me say that again. Devin Haney usurps his buzz. Kind of like Highlander. Look at it like that. It's like Highlander. Not only can there be only one, but they inherit the last guy's power and skill and stuff like that. All that hype that he got up off that knockout, Devin Haney just absorbed that into himself and made himself bigger. But with these guys, man, it's a sad state, but this is the beautiful thing. You know, kind of like it was some good to Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez doing their little racist rant. Some good came from that, you know. But the good thing about this is when you hear certain people talk, you know who not to fuck with, and you know what time it is with them. By just hearing them talk about Devin Haney, because if you're really a boxing fan, you ain't got to like the guy to give him credit. That's the crazy part. You know? But they simply just can't do it. It's too much haterade and it's too much jealousy and stuff like that. And just like I said before, and I told y'all, I know y'all don't like hearing it no more than I like saying it, but it's true. Older black dudes be fucking haters. Young ones too, so let me not just put it on them, but I'm just being for real, bro. It's a sick, I've seen it all my life, and I never could understand it. Because I never want to kick somebody coming up under me or that's younger than me. I'm happy to see other people doing good, even if they're doing better than what I've done in that category or in that field or whatever. People have a real hard time nowadays enjoying other people's victory and being happy for them. You know what I'm saying? And what I don't understand is, one day, if you work hard enough, that's going to be you. And you're going to want people to celebrate and join in it just like everybody else. Instead, you're going to be the one experiencing people with the sour face. You be like, damn, why people ain't happy for me? Why this and that? Because they're you. That's how they are. They're you. You just switched positions. You went from a loser to a winner, and now you looking at people that was you. Mad, envious, sad. And at the end of the day, and I'm going to say this in closing, I told y'all what this thing is about. Besides all the internal stuff and the father and the good relationship they got, it's about that money, y'all. It's about that money. Trust me. Trust me. The money just makes everything, just takes it over the top. And all these other boxers that's now retired is sitting around, and you know what they saying. We all know what they said. Damn, where was Turkey Al-Sheikh when I was boxing? Damn. You know that's what they saying. So that adds to it too. That's my thoughts on this. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.
It's true.